Hello everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at pictures of the LEGO Harry Potter Hogsmeade Village Collector's Edition set that will be coming out on September 4th, and will come out on September 1st for LEGO Insiders, but pretty much anyone can be a LEGO Insider, so it's basically September 1st for everyone there, and this set will retail for $400 US, and it will come with 3,228 pieces, and it will also come with 12 minifigures here. And this depicts a lot more of Hogsmeade than what we got to see in the 2021 set. In that set, we just got the 3 broomsticks and honeydukes, but in this set here, the Hogsmeade here gets expanded a lot. And there's actually 6 different shops in this set. And from left to right, there's the Owl Post, Dervish and Bangs, Honeydukes, the 3 broomsticks. Like I said, both of those we got previously. And then there's also the Hog's Head, Scrivenshaft's Quill Shop, and Zonko's Joke Shop. And I think I said that there were 6 shops, but there's actually 7 here. 2 of them are actually fairly small, but the other 5 are, fairly substantial. I guess the Owl Post there isn't super large. But yeah, the big 4 here are our Honeydukes, the 3 broomsticks, the Hog's Head, and Zonko's Joke Shop. And it's actually the first time that we've ever gotten in LEGO before the Hog's Head and Zonko's Joke Shop. So that's very nice to get both of those buildings there for the first time in LEGO. So that's very nice there. And there's what the box looks like. This is obviously an 18+ set there, so it has the black box. And here's the 360 spin of it. And this set was done in a very similar style to Diagon Alley, so it kind of has like the strip buildings there, and you can obviously place minifigures all around in front of the buildings there. So I think that's very nice. I liked how that set was set up, and again, this one was done in a similar style to that, which I think is pretty nice. And there is lots of places to pose minifigures, and it looks like there's like kind of a good balance there between the studded surfaces and tiled surfaces, which is very nice. That's good to see there for posing minifigures. I definitely wouldn't want it to be just tiled, because then you can't pose minifigures, but then all studded doesn't look great either. So I think they have a pretty good balance there. And then it looks like that's a sign there for the Hogwarts station. So that's pretty cool there. And it looks like there's lots of like lampposts there as well. That's all very nice. And then here you can see the interior for all of the buildings there. So there's a lot of details on the inside. This here is just kind of like an overview picture here. There's some more closer pictures that we'll look at in just a minute here, but this kind of gives you an overview of what the inside of this set is going to look like. And like I said, this set does come with 12 minifigures here, and so here's a picture of all of them. And from left to right, you get Harry, Ron, Hermione, Aberforth Dumbledore there, Katie Bell, Draco Malfoy, Professor McGonagall, Cornelius Fudge, Professor Slughorn, this is Madame Rosmerta, I believe, Professor Flume, and this here is just like a generic Zonko's employee there as well. So that's very nice to get an employee. But I think that the minifigures here in this set look pretty good for the most part. I really like the Aberforth one there. I think that was done very nicely. I like the Katie Bell one as well there, especially with that hairpiece. That's pretty nice. Slughorn and Madame Rosmerta, both of those minifigures look pretty good. And like I said, it's nice to just get like an employee as well. And I think that Harry, Ron, Hermione, those minifigures also look pretty nice as well there. And there's a closer look at that Fudge minifigure. I actually don't love that minifigure there, especially that head, the headpiece there. I don't think that fits the character very well. So yeah, I'm actually not a huge fan of that figure there. The rest of the figure looks decent, but the head there is definitely not very good. This here, the set does come with like a little carriage there. So that's pretty nice as well. And then that picture there was showing a closer look at the horse there that goes with that carriage. That's very nice there. I like that was included there. And then here's the bottom floor of Honeydukes. And this looks very detailed here. I really like the way that this looks. And yeah, I think that there's lots of jumpers on here as well, which is good for posing minifigures and also just posing other items as well. And yeah, it looks like there'll be lots of details. I'm hoping that some of these details will be done with prints, because it looks like there's a lot of decorated pieces, and I'm hoping that a lot of those will be prints and not stickers, especially since this set is $400 here. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly kind of what that ratio is there from prints versus stickers there. But then here's like the dimensions for the set there, so you can kind of see how big it will end up being. And here is what it looks like in real life. So it's fairly sizable here, and this basically is set up in 3 different sections here. So there's this section here, the 3 broomsticks there, that gets like its whole own section, and then these 3 shops here also get their own section there. So I like how that was set up as well, and you can kind of rearrange everything here, kind of within those 3 sections. So that's pretty nice there, and so yeah, you can of course just set those up like that. And then here's another look at all the minifigures that will be included in the set here. This is just kind of like in like a real life setting there. And then here's what the interior looks like for the 3 broomsticks. So this shop here is very large, and which means of course that the interior of it is pretty large, and it does have like an upper floor there as well. And then of course there's like the lower floor where people would eat food there as well. And there's like the kind of like the chandeliers there, and then there's like this little floor right here, and I think that's a chair right there. And there's also the chimneys as well. So, and there's like this little part up here. So there looks like there's lots of details in the 3 broomsticks here, so that's pretty nice. Some of this does look a little bit empty, especially like where the chandeliers are. That whole kind of ceiling area looks a little bit empty there, but the interior of that still looks pretty decent. This is like the Zonko's Joke Shop, the Scriven Shaft's Quill Shop, I believe is how you pronounce that, and then the Hog's Head. So there's what the interior for those three shops there will look like. And I think that the interior, these 3 look pretty nice. The Zonko one especially looks good because it is a joke shop there. So that looks pretty nice. It looks like there's lots of details in there. And then it is good that this set came with Aberforth there, because obviously he needs to go into the Hog's Head there. So that's pretty nice there. I think that all looks pretty good for the most part. And it doesn't look like there was a close-up picture for Honeydukes there, and then the other shops next to it. So here's what that looks like there. I didn't see a closer up picture of that. So I think this is probably the best picture to look at the interior of that. Obviously the bottom floor we already looked at, but then the top floor there I've not looked at yet. And I think that the top floor, that looks kind of empty from what I can see here. And then these 2 shops here also look kind of empty as well. The Owl Post and the Dervish and Bangs, those also look kind of empty. So yeah, maybe those need to be filled out a little bit more. I really like how these 3 shops here were done. They look very kind of filled in and very detailed. I think that these definitely a little bit lacking though, with stuff inside of them. So yeah, those definitely could have had a little bit more detail than they do have there. But then here is it like the 3 separate sections there as well. And then here is it next to the Diagon Alley. Like I said earlier, this is done in the same style as the Diagon Alley. So if you get both sets, you could put them next to each other there. And I think that looks pretty good for the most part there. Yeah, I like how that's all set up there. I think that looks pretty nice. And then there is a video here, so I'll go and play this as well. And there's kind of what it looks like assembling the 3. I guess that's the 3 broomsticks there. And then there's what it looks like. Of course, you can put them together, put all 3 different sections together there. Oh, there's a better look at the interior for those 3 as well. There, so yeah, like I said, pretty empty there. I definitely wish that was a little bit more filled out than it is there for sure. But the interior of all that is done very nicely there. So I'm really happy with how that turned out there. Like I said, I already talked about the minifigures, but I think that does look pretty decent for the most part. And then there's it next to Diagon Alley. And so yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think that this looks very good here. And then there's the back of the box there as well. Now, so as a set, I think it looks very good. But now I got to talk about the price here, because the price of this one is not very good here. $400 for this is definitely not a good price, especially for only 3,228 pieces there. So this one definitely should have been much cheaper here. And then even when you compare it to some other LEGO Harry Potter sets in particular, it doesn't make this set look good here. So if I compare this to the Diagon Alley set, this one you can buy right now. It's $450. So it's $50 more than the Hogsmeade set. But it comes with 5,500 pieces. This one comes with 3,200 pieces. So it's over 2,000 pieces more for just $50 more there. So yeah, this one's definitely a much better value. And then also, if you look at the Gringotts set, this one here you can also buy right now. It's $430. so $30 more than the Hogsmeade set, but it comes with 4,800 pieces, and again, this one comes with 3,200 pieces. So, yeah, both of those comparisons here definitely don't make the value on this set look very good at all here. This one definitely should have been more like a $300 to $330 set or something like that. Definitely not $400 though. That's way too much for this set here. So yeah, I definitely think that for what you actually end up getting here, $400 is way too much. And even just from a price to par ratio here, it doesn't look like a good price. And I don't see too many larger pieces in this set either there. So yeah, this definitely should have been a lot cheaper than $400 here. Now, there are going to be some gift with purchases that will be coming out along with this set here on September 1st. And the first set here will be available exclusively with the new Hogsmeade set. And this here is the Hogsmeade sign. And I think that this style of gift with purchase I like a lot, because it's not something that's super valuable to someone who doesn't get the Hogsmeade set here. It's a very nice addition to someone who does get the Hogsmeade set. But I definitely don't think it's going to be something that someone who doesn't get the Hogsmeade set is really going to want. So I really like this type of gift with purchase here. It still looks pretty nice. I think that the design of it here looks pretty good. And LEGO kind of estimates the value of it at around $17 there. And it also comes in a nice little box as well. So yeah, this looks like a nice little gift with purchase for people who do get the Hogsmeade set early. Now, there also will be some more gift with purchases as well, and this one here will be available for I think it's $40 on $40 US on LEGO Harry Potter purchases specifically. And this is the Quidditch lesson, and it's a poly bag here, and it comes with a very nice Harry Potter minifigure as well as a statue here, and some different Quidditch items as well. And so it looks like a very nice little poly bag. It's pretty small. It just comes with 27 pieces here. But it is a nice little thing, a nice little addition to people who buy, $40 worth of Harry Potter stuff. And I think it runs from September 1st through the 7th. I think that's when all these gift with purchases run through. So yeah, this looks like a nice little gift with purchase there. And then this one here, this one will be available here for with $130 when you spend $130 US on LEGO Harry Potter stuff. Again, I think it's through September 1st through the 7th. And this here is the Hogwarts Castle Room of Requirement. And this is supposed to depict the Room of Requirements during the Deathly Hallows when all these students were staying in it there. And I think that it looks pretty good. There are lots of little small details on this, which looks pretty nice. It does look like there's lots of stickers. I assume those will be stickers there. And it also does come with the minifigure of Neville as well there, which that looks like a pretty nice minifigure there. And then there's even like the little hammocks that are kind of hung up there as well. So this looks like a pretty nice gift with purchase here. It's 202 pieces, so it's fairly sizable here for a gift with purchase. And I think that I think that for the most part here it looks pretty good. And of course you can put a minifigure up there in those hammocks there. And you can also kind of fold this out as well, or you could kind of like fold it in a little bit there as well. So you do get kind of options with how you want to set this one up. And you can put this with the other new Hogwarts sets. And I definitely don't like that as much. I wish that they would just make something like this, just an actual set, especially since it is compatible with the new Hogwarts setup there. So yeah, that definitely doesn't feel great to me. I wish that they would just sell something like this as a set again, especially since it does go with the new Hogwarts like expansion system that they have going. So yeah, I don't love that there, but just as a little gift with purchase here for people who spend $130 US on Harry Potter, LEGO Harry Potter stuff. I think it's just it's a nice little gift with purchase there. But yeah, I thought I'd talk about both of all three of those gift with purchases there. But getting back to Hogsmeade, like I said, this is a very nice set here. But I think $400 is definitely too much for this here for sure. It should be a lot cheaper than it is. I think, again, around $300 to $330 is kind of where I feel like this should be priced at. But as a set, it looks very nice here. And I think that all the minifigures look good for the most part. I don't love that fudge one, but for the most part, they look good. And this definitely gives you, of course, a lot more than the 2021 set. Now, you are paying a lot more than that one. But this definitely is, quite an expansion to Hogsmeade. And so that's very nice. And it's good to get some of these shops for the very first time in LEGO. Since some of these, like the Hogs Head and Zonko's Joke Shop, we've never had before. So that's very nice to get those. But yeah, just overall, I think it's a pretty good set. Again, just the value, I'm not super happy with the value. But I think that'll do it for this one. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.